Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we are back in Sarn Ford. So after helping the Rangers clean up a little bit after the passing of the Nazgûl, Halbarad is actually going to tell us what happened that day. So let's hear him. I will tell you what happened in the attack, Beriathan, and then I have a task for you and Meneldir to accomplish. Evils walk the land, and I can deny none who are willing to help us fight them.
Night had fallen on the 22nd of September, when our courage was tested.
Alright, the 22nd of September, so that is of course Frodo's birthday. That's when the Nazgûl crossed Sarn Ford. So I'm thinking about what I said at the end of last episode about Gandalf showing up. Of course, he couldn't show up during the attack, but if memory serves me right, he came to the Shire 1 week after the Nazgûl passed, 1 week after Frodo had left. I'm not entirely sure. I know Gandalf, of course, was able to ride faster than anyone, thanks to Shadowfax. So, coming back to the idea at the end of last episode, I might be wrong on this, and this might be one of the details that I hadn't considered. If so, please let me know. This is one of the details I tend to forget, but until then, I still stand by what I said. It would be really nice if Gandalf could show up at some point and provide us a better introduction to the character, because you don't get that with Before the Shadow. But that's not the case. It's just wishful thinking at this point, and I don't think that's gonna change for the foreseeable future. But let's hear the story anyway.
An unnatural fog rolled in, changing the contours of the land, and we were seized by a feeling of dread unlike anything we had felt before.
And we of course know that feeling as well, because that's what we experienced when we were in Herne. But let's hear what Halbarad has to say anyway. My own heart was seized by a terrible foreboding, but I had the duty of command and would not abandon it. I want you to know this, Beriathan, before I tell you the events that followed. These men and women that stood with me on that night, there was not a single drop of cowardice among them. But we had no idea what we would face on that night.
The dead rise! The dead!
The barrows are emptied!
Dunedain! Do not give in to fear!
And here they come. Just like at Herne. Forward, I guess.
What is that?
There's another!
You're not welcome here! Leave this land!
Oh, that is such an amazing moment.
Creatures and never return! Stand, Dunedain! Protect the Shire!
Yeah, Garlic, I know the feeling exactly. And the Rangers, there was little they could do against something like that.
The number of the terrible wraiths was 9.
though not all those who defended Sarn Ford knew what that meant as I did. We defied those Black Riders for as long as we could, but that is not an evil against which any man or any woman can be expected to stand for long. I do not judge any who ran or any who hid themselves. Those of the riders who did not pass into the Shire pursued the Dunedain they found in the wild. There are still rangers in the Shire, and I know they will do what they must to save the hobbits from these Black Riders. But more of my kin were scattered across Cardolan by those of the riders that did not cross the Brandywine, and we will need their strength in the days ahead if they still live. That is what I need from you and from Meneldir. I need you to track down survivors of the attack and learn how they fared in the days since my people were scattered like leaves in the wind. This will not cure Meneldir's shame or restore his broken oath, but it may reveal the nature of his heart. If he bears any love for his former kin, let him show it by aiding them now. You, Beriathan, are free to do as you will, but know that it will be of great help to the Dunedain if you aid us in this, and I will not forget it.
Many of my kin were scattered across the South Downs in the wake of the attack.
And I fear at least 4 of the Black Riders may harry the Rangers among the hills. Save the Dunedain you can, help them recover from their injuries, and restore what safety you can to the South Downs. If you see the raids, hide, if you can, but run if you must. There is a power and an evil about them I have never seen before.
Any search of the South Downs should begin near Caranost.
It commands a view of the surrounding lands, and I believe any rangers seeking to return from their escape will make for it. When last I walked the rolling hills of the South Downs, there were elves camped east of the river, just on the other side of Caranost. Let us begin our search there. And with this, the epic is once again sending us to where we need to go for some of the regional side quests. But we still have a couple things to do around this area before we go to the South Downs. Nonetheless, we have our objective clear now. And that is helping the Rangers, of course, after the attack. More importantly, well, Halbarad kinda answered the question that I had when he said there were more Rangers protecting the Shire, and it was up to them now to harry the Nazgûl. Because my question was, what about Halros? Because, as far as I remember, the only ranger you meet inside the Shire is Halros, and you, of course, if you're a hobbit, you do with him the prologue of the Shadows of Angmar books. And it would have been really cool as well if we had the chance of meeting Halros as well. It was not super necessary, but I would have loved if Before the Shadow also got to introduce some more rangers that were more important on the story. Well, we already know Halbarad, but Halros is also a very important ranger, and you still get the chance to meet him, of course, during Volume 3. But how cool would it have been if Halros had been present at Sarn Ford, if we got to meet Halros in here. People like Candaith, I think that we will also get a chance of meeting him. But once again, I'm not sure about some of the rangers that we have just met at Sarn Ford. Some of their names do ring a bell, but I'm not sure if that's me remembering them from my previous playthrough of Cardolan, or if those are rangers you get to meet when you travel with the Grey Company south. It can go either way. And as I said, it's not really that important, but how cool would it have been to meet Halros in here? Just an extra detail, but yeah, not that important. Anyway, we'll take care of the wolves in here. And we have met Alien Goodheart.
Welcome, friend.
Hello there, adventurer. I trust that is what you are, yes? Very good. I am not an adventurer, you see, but a citizen concerned with an issue I have noticed of late. the increase of bad-tempered ruffians that threaten the peace and safety of these lands. You may call me Mrs. Goodheart if it pleases you, and I may call you, what? Beriathan? It is a pleasure to meet you, Beriathan. I came here to give these brigands a piece of my mind, but now that I have arrived, I think perhaps I was a bit overzealous. There are two ruffians in particular that have caused a great deal of trouble back home. They are the Red Claw brothers, Itwal and Emrys, and their crimes are too numerous to recount. Let us just say that Red Claw is not just a family name, but a description of the sort of villainy of which they are most fond. They are dangerous, and they are somewhere within this structure. If you can put an end to their murdering, I will have a reward for you, and you will also have the appreciation of my entire village. So that's basically it. What else do we need to do? Defeat some brigands in Halbarad for the Rangers. Oh, there are some urns in here as well. So that's gonna be nice. And there are also a couple things for Explorer Deeds as well. But I don't remember exactly where. So we might need to do some running around with all this. We have completed Deadly Insults. We have completed Class Deeds Tier 2. So let me take a look at that really quick. Deadly Insult, 5 LOTRO points, Class Deeds, Tier 2. How good would it be if there was an updated reward for those meta deeds? Broken Urn. Oath Plague, exactly. Okay, it's up top. And well, the quest will take you there anyway, so that's good. Don't lag, please. Don't lag. Awesome, defeated Itwal Red Claw. That was basically it, it seems. Let me take this. Alright, and the Plague. You have discovered the Oath Plague. It's been a while since last time we got something for these deeds, but let's see if we can check that anyway. Though worn and weathered by time, you are able to make out a few words inscribed upon this plague. They seem to allude to the oaths that were sworn here hundreds of years ago when the hill folk were forced to submit to Dunedain kings. Alright. And had we read this plague that we discovered in Tharbad? I think we did. Revealed in the leaves in 777. Yeah, I think we did. Now, these ruins are also huge, as you can see, or at least relatively huge. Wouldn't surprise me if there was a cache in here somewhere, but you already know I'm not the best at finding those caches. So if we get another quest in here to explore the ruins a little bit more, I might give it a try. If not, we'll be on our way.
What can I do for you?
Itwal and Emrys are no more. Very well done, Beriathan. You have my thanks, and when I report to my village that the Red Claw brothers have paid for their crimes, you will have the appreciation of an entire village. Good day to you, my adventuring friend. I cannot imagine our paths will cross again, but if they do, I will know that fate smiles upon me, and I should expect good fortune for all the rest of the day. So, I don't know, should I? I know, it's exactly the same stats that I already have, so that means I can safely take one of the other two pieces for the cosmetic, and I love this one, the heavy armor version, so that's what I'm gonna take. Completed, awesome. Tales of Cardolan advanced, so let's check that one. 5 LOTRO points and some extra reputation, that's okay. Tales of Cardolan final. We need to complete 30 more quests. Do we really have so many quests in Cardolan? It doesn't seem like that. We have, well, all this portioning here that the South Downs looks huge, but isn't really that big. And we also have here a little portion in Andrath. I mean, this is roughly the same size of Cardolan that we have already traversed. So I guess having another 30 quests to do in here is not that far-fetched, but it's still surprising for me. And the missus doesn't have any more quests. Alright. So we're gonna go to Sarn Ford really quick to turn in this quest. And then we'll be on our way to Caranost. I think we can swift travel back to Herne, and from there we'll need to ride. We've been really close to Caranost already, but you will remember I didn't want to go to Caranost yet because I knew we were going there with these quests, so that's why I kinda avoided it up until now. I think it makes more sense, and Caranost has, well, on one hand has a lot of quests, but on the other hand has a lot of enemies. So that's not something that you want to do under leveled. I mean, you maybe can do it, especially if you have good DPS, but there's also no rush in doing that, in my opinion, anyway. Just checking some of these cosmetics just in case. That's light armor. That, once again, not a lot of point for us. Oh, scroll case. Cool. We can take a scroll case. And what do we have here? Journeyman Jeweler's Journal. Yeah, sounds like a twist and ride. Journeyman Jeweler's Journal. Oh my god. There we go.
What troubles you?
You have done well to oppose the brigands massing at Halbarad. I must remember that one frightening experience does not eliminate the other dangers against which we must stand. That is easier said than done, friend. Thank you for helping the people I am sworn to defend. And, alright, a very cool ring as well. Let me equip that one before I forget I have it. And, oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna take this on the second place. Perfect. And, alright, so now we take the Stable Master to Herne. And from there, we'll just continue on our own. So, gonna take the horse. I'll see you in Caranost, Meneldir, most likely. It's gonna be a relatively long ride, and that was the wrong path. Bear with me. I'll ride as fast as I can, I promise. can't think of anything interesting to say, so I hope you are enjoying the view. I was just thinking a little bit about how am I gonna handle the end of this Before the Shadow playthrough, that it's drawing nearer and nearer, because we have already discussed that without a big chunk of XP boosts, you will not get to level 32 by the time you finish Cardolan. And I am well aware of the fact, but my decision not to use XP boost was, of course, conscious of that. I just want to see how far can you get without using anything. And I mean, if I had a way of, if I could have it my way, I wouldn't even use the rest XP that VIPs get. But well, that can't be avoided. So yeah, you bear that in mind. By the end of our Before the Shadow playthrough, there will be plenty of XP that will come as a result to that. But even with that one, I don't think we'll have enough virtue XP to get us to level 32. And why is that important? Because if you are not level 32, you cannot do the last quest of book 3 of Before the Shadow, and that is also by design. When you finish book 3, you will be sent to Rivendell and you need to pick book 4, and that's when Before the Shadow joins with Shadows of Angmar. But book 4 is the first chapter of book 4 is a level 37 quest, meaning you need to be at least level 32 to be able to get it in the first place. So the game will not give you the last quest of Before the Shadow if you're not level 32, because that way it makes sure that you will be able to pick up book 4, especially if you are a new player and you don't know what comes next. You need to be the right level so that the game can guide you through the process. That is all good, except for the fact that Before the Shadow will not give you enough experience to get to level 32 on your own. So after you finish with Cardolan, you basically need to decide where will you go next to get the last few pieces of XP that you need. And I would even advise you to get to level 33 or level 34, because if you are facing enemies 5 levels above you, they will resist and avoid a lot of your attacks. So that's an extra handicap that you really don't need. But I was thinking, what will I do then? I will need to get to level 32 at least, maybe even a little bit more, but I was just thinking back to my original Shadows of Angmar playthrough and seeing, once again, how am I gonna roleplay joining both stories? And once again, I don't have a full answer to that yet, but I do have a couple of ideas. So I'm feeling pretty confident with that. But we are already here, thank God, and we have a new quest in here. Long ago the towers of Caranost fell, but long was their proud vigilance. So we need to discover the last towers. This is one. But it seems we can get credit from this side, so let's go back to where we were. It's a really simple quest to complete, really. You just need to run around a little bit. Nothing too major, so that's gonna be super quick, I hope. But first, here we are at Searland. I'm gonna grab the Stable Master. But I am not going to grab the milestone, and you will see why in just a moment. Discover the central tower. Halbarad greets you with a weary wave. Give me just a moment and I'll be back with you because I wanna check this. We have a Master at Swanfleet. You need to be acquaintance standard with the Dunedain of Cardolan and Master at Cardolan as well. So I'm gonna take these two masters. The master in Cardolan Awel is not in here, is in Herne, but we still have swift travel options. We are starting to get more swift travel options, and that is all good. And as you see here, you only need acquaintance status to get your travel skills. And it's the same for the return skills and the guide skills for hunters. And you will remember that the reputation, the faction, the Dunedain of Cardolan starts at acquaintance precisely. So basically all you need to do is complete whatever quest you prefer. You just need to complete one quest to trigger the completion of the neutral tier that's basically hidden because it doesn't count, and you will be automatically acquaintance. And what you can do, what I did actually without knowing the first time I played this, you just come here to Sirland looking for the Varter. This is the only place where you can find it in Cardolan, I believe, and you will get the dialogue for this tower quest, and you just complete the quest and that will give you all the reputation you need to get your travel skills. I think that was also intentional, of course, especially for level 100 players, so that they don't need to grind a lot of reputation for their travel skills, because that will be useful for level cap players, since they need to travel a lot for the delvings. But that also benefits us, because now we just have all the travel skills. Well, not all of them, but all the ones that you can get from this faction. There are a couple more fast travel skills in Cardolan, but for them you need to do delvings. So that is out of the way for this Beriathan at least.
It is good to see friendly faces after the days we have had.
Rangers assemble here to recover from their wounds, and so far we have remained beneath notice of the terrible shadows that chased us from Sarn Ford. We are the lucky ones. Not all of my friends have been so fortunate. If you can thin the number of our foes in the surrounding areas, other rangers may be able to make it here to Sirland.
The news you bring fills me at once with hope and despair.
My Govanen, I am Grethran. The news you bring fills me at once with hope and despair, for I know the woman of whom you speak and have been seeking her myself.
We have been looking into the situation with the orcs and, more recently, the Restless Dead.
We have been here at Sirland looking into the situation with the orcs and, more recently, the Restless Dead. Though I encouraged her to leave him at home, Annaethel insisted on bringing her youngling, Mellanion. The child went missing during an orc attack. Annaethel was convinced he survived, but after a few days of not finding him, she took the loss very deeply. Annaethel's grief could not be lightened, and with it came a madness I have never seen before. She took to wandering away from our camp and vanished one night. I have been searching for her and Mellanion ever since, and I am overjoyed that you have found her. My heart trembles, however, thinking that she has lured away someone else's child. I fear for Annaethel's safety, but even more for that of her child. I either hope that he yet lives, but if that is true, he is captive of the orcs who dwell throughout Caranost. Due to their numbers, I am unable to penetrate the crumbled city, but perhaps you will succeed where I have failed. Please, look for signs of Mellanion. Alright, so we have the answer of what the mystery behind the disappearing childs and who Annaethel is. And now we are gonna take care of that. And looking here, Rendell, which is another ranger of a Cardolan, and you will remember Rendell is a... When we met Caddy, I believe it was, in Herne, she was telling us that she wanted to plant some more flowers and trees in the garden, following Rendell's instruction, And she also told us that Rendell talks to the trees to help them grow faster because he feels guilty a little for what his ancestors did to the trees. And of course this checks out, Rendell being a Dunedain of the north and descending from the kings of Arnor, who in turn descend from the kings of Númenor, who cut all the trees in this area up until the Guathlo, the delta of the Guathlo. I think that was it, right? Yeah. Up until this point and the angle of Mythital. All that is in the Unfinished Tales. It's been a while since I read the Unfinished Tales, but I think that's the basics of it. So let's see what happens now with Rendell.
Hail, traveler!
Do you know of Athelas? Kingsfall, I mean. The wheat? I found this man, Watkin, injured in Caranost. I need to stay a bit longer to keep an eye on him, but once his condition has steadied, I'll go looking for Athelas. We could work together to gather more, if you don't mind, that is. There should be Athelas growing around a pool nearby, just to the east. This is also one of the easy ones. If you don't want to do the towers, you can do this one, to unlock the reputation and then get your travel skills.
Have you a moment?
My husband is dear to me, but he sees only that which is directly in front of him. We must put an end to the Orc warriors, Meneldir, he tells me, for their swords are deadly and sharp. He is not wrong in this, but I am more concerned about the arrows of their scouts, for they can strike us from much farther away. Will you cross to Caranost proper and find the stairs that climb just beyond the bridge? There is a fire burning atop one of the towers, and I want to learn if the Orcs archers can strike at this camp from the parapet. Go there and look in our direction. I want to hear what can be seen from that location.
Yes.
If you come in peace and bear a helpful heart, then I welcome you to Sirlond. My wife, Madril, and I established this camp here among the ruins of Caranost to combat the evils that threaten the old city and the surrounding lands. And our numbers have only grown in recent days. Rangers fled here following an attack upon the river crossing to the west, and others were drawn hither by the light of our fire. I welcome all as I welcome you. To the west, a long bridge leads into Caranost proper, where orcs dwell in great number. If you wish to help us, you will take up arms against their warriors. Many of those who shelter here bear injuries that prevent them from bringing the fight to the orcs, but I see that you are no stranger to combat, and do it well. Sure, let me take care of that. A really nice detail. So the wife told us he worries only about the warriors, but he wants to check in on the archers, and then we get the quest to defeat the warriors. Those kind of details, of really little details, are really enjoyable nonetheless. Alrighty, and here is the last one. Let's pick this up. The injured man calls out to you.
Boy, you're the one Rendell mentioned, yeah?
He's still gone. Said you and him were picking Kingsfoil. What's the wit got to do with my wounds? Never mind, I haven't got a mind for healing and the like. Just give it here and I'll make sure Rendell receives it. That man's a strange one. He carried me out of Caranost and still hasn't asked for a reward. What kind of person would venture into an orc-infested ruin and, you're asking how I ended up there myself? The orcs, of course. What I mean to say is, there's got to be a catch to Rendell's kindness. Come on, aren't you just a bit curious? His belongings are just lying over there next to the tent. I'd go digging around myself, but Watkin wins this. Well, you get the idea. Yeah, you cannot go there on your own, otherwise you would have done so already a long time ago. Point of interest and dangerous locations in Cardolan are marked. Rendell's bow and dagger are worn but clearly cared for.
No
ordinary traveler would go around seeking danger.
Maps and weapons. No ordinary traveler would go around seeking danger. Do you think he's one of them rangers? They're too mysterious for my liking, always avoiding other folks, coming and going to do who knows what. Of course I don't like them.
Well, I've got something to ask of you. I'll be honest, I don't have anything to give you in return yet.
And I can't promise it'll be much, but I lost everything in Caranost while I was fleeing from the orcs. They put up a good chase, so I kept dropping my things till I had nothing left to weigh me down. Could you retrieve what you can for me? I'd rather not rely on Rendell more than I need to. All I remember is running down those stairs west of here before the orcs caught up with me. Okay, it seems we have plenty of time to do some of these quests in Caranost, if not all of them. So we need to find a couple more towers, look for Mellanion, find the tower overlooking the bridge, defeat the warriors, find the lost belongings. It's a lot, but Caranost is a nicely tight, packed area, so I expect this to go by really quick. As you see here, these warriors at level 24, if we had come here at level 18, 19 when we first came into Cardolan, we were in no match to fight them, in no position to fight them. So that's one of the reasons why it's better for you to avoid Caranost until you are in your early 20s at least. Nothing in here, it seems. Alright. We're gonna climb this first set of stairs. Okay. Lost belongings. Awesome. This pouch contains a small amount of coin. Yeah, he was really really scared of the orcs. You found a worn blanket of very fine weave, and this is also the tower that worries Mithril, so we're gonna take a look. Mithril is right. Orc archers can easily see Sirlon from this position. Yeah, but they can't reach it, so that's gotta be something at least. These supplies are too damaged to be reclaimed. Okay. Go. More tablet fragments. More belongings. Alright. These supplies are also too damaged to be reclaimed. What a shame. The supplies are still intact, so okay, that is something at least, I guess. Now I think this is one of the towers for the other quest. Discovered the northwestern tower. There is just this urn here. Alright. There he comes. Now, that door that you see in there, it's the western exit of Caranost that will take you closer to Andrath. I'm not entirely sure if we'll need to go through that path at some point, but we don't need that today, so I think we can safely skip that. Wooden chest, scout, warrior, urns. Let's see if we can avoid some of that. Awesome. Lots of urns in here, so I might want to grab a few of them. A child's hobby horse. Could he have been here? Most likely, right? Of course you're gonna interrupt me. Come over here. Is this the tower? No, is that one over there? Okay. Of course they will come here. Right? Oh, here they come. Let them come then. Discover the southwestern tower. Okay, that completed the quest. Was not expecting that. But it was really timely, that level up. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah? Are we done? No? Jeez. Finally. Let me check what we got here, because we got a lot. We got level 24. And battle preparation. Well, I can take battle preparation, of course. That will help a little bit. There is also a treasure cache in here, so we're gonna take that as well. Really? We didn't get anything else at level 24? What a shame. Destination North Downs. I can't pick that one, but we don't need it yet. Continue looking for signs of Mellanion. So hopefully in here. There he is.
Hail, hail, and well met indeed.
Are you come from Sirland? What a relief. I have been stuck down here for days. I managed to slip away from my captors and hide down here, but they're looking for me and patrol above incessantly. I feared I would never escape, but now you are here. I can make my own way out of here, but I need a distraction. When I was leading them on a chase a few days ago, I saw a curious crate in the tower above the steps. I believe that lighting that box with fire will create a fantastic explosion. If you do that, the patrolling guards will be distracted long enough for me to make my escape. Will you help me? Absolutely nothing else in here once again. So we're just gonna, light the crate. If you don't mind, guy, your little guy in here, I'm gonna take care of you really quick. Awesome. Gonna grab the urn. Great. And what else? The cries of angry orcs fill the air. Really? There we go at long last. And go back. Oh, for Christ's sake. They are respawning already. God. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that's the stuff. Gotta go back now. We'll need to fight our way through once again. But when you know your way, this isn't really as big as it seems. And once again, we are one-shotting everyone with Onslaught. How cool is that? I'm just missing my mastery so bad right now. But we'll get them now at level, what, 39 it was? So we'll most likely won't see them before the end of this playthrough. That's a shame, but it really puts everything into perspective. And once again, really brings you back to the old days when, as a warden, you could only get your masteries in your late 40s. And it is a total game changer when you do. So don't get me wrong, I still enjoy the idea of getting masteries relatively far into the game, because that makes them all the more meaningful when you at long last get them. You of course will need to adjust your playstyle to them, but that is true for every single warden that has ever started playing. It's just that now you need to wait a little bit longer before that happens. Expert scholar cases. Well, I don't have the proficiency yet, but I hope I will soon. I think I have enough materials to master my journeyman crafting, but I will need to double check that.
That's all that's left then? Well, I'll figure something out.
Here, take this coin and split it between you and Randall. I still don't trust him much, but the two of you are the only folks who have ever shown me a bit of kindness. Come on.
No, I've already told Watkin. I do not require a reward, coin or otherwise.
By the way, Beriathan, do you know why my belongings have been rummaged through? As you explain what happened, Randall's frown softens. I see. Then this situation is my fault entirely, for I was not forthright about my identity.
Watkin's suspicions are not unfounded. I used to be a ranger, but I've long since severed my ties.
Ah, you too. They are too disconnected from the people they seek to protect. This trust is to be expected when you shroud your movements and intentions. Yes, the irony is not lost on me. I fear that the truth would have put Watkin on edge, but he deserves the truth. Alas, my presence clearly causes him some anxiety. Would you be willing to tell him in my stead? I'll apologize to him myself, should he allow it.
Maybe Randall isn't so bad after all. I guess it's time I told my story too.
There is a reason why I was in Caranost. I've heard rumors about valuable relics there. I'll need every bit of money I can get to flee whatever mess is brewing down south. Not to mention that mess that's brewing here. The captains in Halbarad are searching for me and every other deserter out there to force us into some wizard service. All I want is a safe place to lay my head down at night. Nobody would be able or even willing to to help someone like me, except you and Rendell. I know I've already asked a lot from you, but please. These captains would force Watkin into a war he does not want to fight, then I'll strike them first. Halbarad lies to the southwest. It's quite a trek, but I'll do everything I can. After all, Watkin is under my protection. You are under no obligation to aid me, but if you wish to, I'll meet you there. Oh my god, we were just there! Oh, why? It has been a long time since last time we needed to do this kind of back and forth. Oh my god, this one is really bad. Have the map across, and well, we at least could use some swift travel for there, but what's the point? Oh, come on. I'm a little mad with you, Watkin, so not gonna do this. Not gonna do this yet.
Yes?
You could see Zirlan from that location. That is what I feared, Beriathan. My husband Zirlan is always thinking of swords and axes, and things that are up close. It falls to me to take the longer view.
Beware the servants of the enemy.
The orc scouts that prowl throughout Caranost carry bows with which they have proven quite deadly. Defeat these scouts and gather up their bows, then climb to the tower from which you could spy on Zirlan and burn the bows in the fire the orcs build. I will watch for the smoke of the burning, and so I will know when the orcs have received the message. What message? Simply this, my helpful messenger, that their archers will not be allowed to strike us from afar.
I welcome your aid.
I heard the fighting from here, Beriathan, and I know the orcs now count pure warriors among their number. You have my thanks. Alright, what else do we have here?
Mellanion has returned and brought word of your deeds.
Well met, my new friend. Mellanion has returned and brought word of your deeds. There are not enough words to thank you for what you have done. Additionally, while you were gone, a scout came back with news of Annaethel. She was found in the ruins south of here, but ran off when approached. I see you found the boy's hobby horse also. I think we can use this to help us get through to his mother. Give the toy back to Mellanion. I have an idea. Or is he? Ah, okay, he's here.
Hail again! This time under much better circumstances.
Thank you for my rescue and for bringing me back my horse. Chew through he seems to be. We would have both been gnawed upon much more were it not for your help.
My mother's grief is a dangerous thing.
Here, take back my hobby horse. I have attached a letter to its bridle, letting mother know that I am safe and well. Beriathan said my mother is at the ruins south of here, but he will not let me go to her. Please, you must find her before she is able to lure away any more children. How far south? Not that far, but... I mean, we already need to go back to Halbarad. This is just right around the corner in comparison anyway.
I am grateful for your help.
Perhaps more of my kin will be able to make it here to Zirlan, thanks to your efforts. Word has reached me of another gathering place of the Dunedain at Surlock Farm to the northeast. I would ask you to travel there and lend them similar aid for the betterment of us all. Those raids remain abroad, and they have slain many of my friends already. So we're almost done with Caranost. We just need to defeat the scouts now, before we can move on. But, we don't have enough time for that today, so... This will be all for today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Join me next time and we'll tie up all the loose ends in here. For the time being, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.